Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back with a brand new series. Today we're going to be playing some Project Highrise. This is a game that's not quite out yet, the developers of which were kind enough to send me an early copy of the game to take a look at and to show you guys if I felt like it was a good game. And I do, it's a pretty good game. I don't know when the game is releasing. Right now on its Steam page it just says summer 2016, so it will be out at some time this year probably. But without further ado, we'll jump right into it and we'll see what Project Highrise is all about. So we're going to start a new building here. We can call it what we want. I will call it Caffeine Tower. We can have a difficulty level of beginner, standard, challenging, or difficult. We're going to go with standard for now. We start with a good amount of money. The economy is solid and tenants are easy to find. Start on a regular sized empty lot. You can change the lot size here to narrow, short and wide, extra large. Again, for the time being, we are going to start on standard and we're going to click play here, and that's going to throw us into our very first building. So I'm going to pause this real quick and I'm going to talk you through the UI before we start. So down in the bottom left you have kind of standard simulation management game kind of things. I should mention it's a simulation management strategy kind of game, kind of along the same lines as something like Prison Architect, City Skylines, in that you build and expand on this building. We have this building, we have to build on it, we have to expand on it, we have to make sure things continue to work. For example, you can see over here we have a little power closet, and we have to make sure that everybody within our building has enough power. And essentially the way that this game works, if I quickly go to build mode here and go to add more floor pieces, this is the total building area that we have. It's very wide and it's also extremely tall. We can go up to 10 levels down and we can go up to 39 levels high. So we can have a building with up to 39 stories above the ground floor and then an extra 10 stories below the ground floor. And essentially what we've got to do is we've got to fill those spaces. We've got to build that building and fill those spaces with offices, with apartments, with stores, with storage, with a bunch of stuff. And then we've got to get some tenants who are going to move into that space, pay us rent, and that's how we make our money. You can see right now in the top right we have a current quest objective, or I think they're called contracts in this game, which is proof of concept. We have to reach a daily rent goal of $1,000. So down here back on the user interface, we have our prestige level. Right now, our prestige level is 1. As you get more people into your building, your prestige level will rise. It's kind of just an indication of how good your building is. And certain things like certain room types or certain sizes of rooms are locked off until you get to a certain prestige. It's kind of to give the game a bit of progression. Here we have our population. Right now, we have just these 2 construction workers who are walking, I guess, from the bus station or from the metro station over to our building. They will work out of this office down here and they will do all of the building. So if something needs building, those guys will run up and do the building. And then below population we have the current number of visitors who are like in and around our building. Up here we have our current amount of cash. Right now we start the game with $10,000. Below that we have buzz and influence, which I'm not going to talk about just yet because we're not going to use buzz or influence probably at all in today's episode. So we'll get back to both of those. We then have loans. If our cash runs low, we can take a loan out from the bank and also from a bunch of other sources as well. We can take out a credit card loan, a community bank loan, private equity loan, or a commercial bank loan. You'll see some of these are locked off until later on down the line. You'll see here we need at least a prestige level of 5 before a private equity is willing to give us a loan. And then over here we get to kind of the meat of the game. We have the construction tab that allows us to build more floor pieces. This is kind of what we will be doing for the most part. We can like build extra floor pieces over here, expand out the space that we have. We can build a completely new level along the top there, and if we hit play, these guys are going to walk over and they're going to start making this new top floor fit for people to move into. We also have staircases. These are kind of important as well. You'll see right now they're using this staircase to get down to the construction office. We can also use those to get to higher levels as well. Right now they can't get to this upper level until we put in a staircase like so. Now they can get up here and they can start building some stuff. You can also put elevators in. If we hover over stairs, it says that stairs are a cheap way to connect floors, but tenants don't like to walk for more than a few floors. And so if you have like for example, a building that is 39 stories high and the only way to get to the 39th floor is by climbing 39 sets of stairs, then your tenants may get a bit annoyed and may move out. So it's a good idea to invest in elevators. So a little bit more expensive, but your tenants do like them a whole lot more. We have building staff, trash, storerooms, and transit. All of this stuff we will get to later on down the line. We can hire a maintenance crew. For example, if our elevator breaks down at some point, our maintenance crew will go and fix it. And then other stuff like trash and storerooms and transit, we will get to later on down the line because those are not really too relevant just yet. We then have utilities over here next to construction. We have electricity, phone, cable TV, water, and gas. We have to have cabinets for all of these things. You'll see right now over here we have this unit which is giving our building 10 electrical units. You'll see right now over here it says total demand is 0 and total utilization is also 0. 0. As we get more people in, as we get offices and studio apartments and stores and all that kind of stuff, people will of course start to use the electricity, and as they do that, that will increase the demand, increase the utilization, and we can add more of these electrical transformers. There are 3 different tiers. There is like a small one, a medium one, and a large one. Right now we have the small one. Later on we can invest in a medium one, and eventually if we need it, we can get a bigger one to provide us with an extra 150 electrical units if we so need it. We've then got these wires over here. You'll see right now the second floor has a cabinet. You need these cabinets to transfer electricity from floor to floor. So for example, this top floor here, you'll see there's a red circle. I cannot put any kind of electrical cables on this top floor yet unless I grab one of these cabinets or a wiring closet and stick it down on that floor. That will then connect up like this. They don't have to be directly on top of each other. I could have put one over here and then connected it up with cables. You can grab these electrical lines and just run them along the building. So I could put another cabinet right there, and that would connect to this electrical line, and that would transfer upwards just fine. This cabinet does also transfer phone and TV, but if you want to transfer water and gas, you're going to need a separate cabinet also on the same floor, and you're also going to have one of these water and gas cabinets down at the bottom of your building as well to connect up water and gas. You'll see right now we've got this dotted line. If I was to, for example, put this in here, that's going to become a solid blue line, and much like with the electricity, we can put in these plumbing closets all the way up through our building to allow plumbing and gas to go all the way up to even the 39th floor. So that's utilities. We then over here get into how we actually make money. So we've got this one here that says allocate space for office tenants. We then have allocate space for apartment rentals, and we also have allocate space for restaurants and cafes. So until later on down the line when we unlock space for retail stores, these are the only 3 things that we can have within our building. So we're going to start with an office, a basic small office. Again, we don't unlock larger offices until we have a bit of a higher prestige, but we can grab a small office, the building cost of which is free, so we can put this down anywhere we like. You can't put it below the ground floor. It has to be on the first floor or above. And so for now, we'll put it right here next to our staircase, and you'll see that automatically we get a little pop-up over here which says you've just allocated empty space for rent. Make sure you click on it and set it to be advertised for rent so that you can find a tenant. I'm going to click don't show me this again because I am aware that we now have to click on the room. You'll see this little like icon pops up when nobody's in it, and so if we click on it, these are all of the people who are willing to rent out this office. Right now, we've got a couple of insurance companies as well as a couple of accounting companies. We can look at these and we can see what their offers are. These guys are willing to pay $95 in rent. They need an electrical line, and they expect copying services. If we go to the accounting guys, we have one person who's willing to pay $120 but expects a copying service and a courier service. So for now, we'll go with the insurance company. We'll take the one that's paying the most in rent. We'll rent this office space out to City Inc. So the City Inc. guys are going to come in here. They're going to put all their stuff in. They expect an electrical line. We have already got an electrical line running to here. They also, however, expect a copying service. And so, what we need to do now is go over to here, and this little box that says build services to support your building's tenants. And then in here, there are 2 sub-menus. There are services for businesses and services for private tenants, people who live in apartments within our building. The accountants are definitely a business, so we can click on this. And here are all of the offices, all of the services that we can offer to every business in our building. Again, for the time being, a lot of this stuff is locked behind the prestige wall. We're not prestigious enough to unlock all of this stuff. But right at the top here, we have a courier service, an office supply service, a bottled water service, janitorial, and most importantly here, the copy service. And so we're going to grab this, and we can put it down here. We can put it really anywhere we want. I'm going to put it down here on this bottom floor just because it fits nicely between all of the rooms that we currently have. And now, once the accountant guys arrive and take up this office space, they are not going to be angry that they don't have the copy space because the copy space is there. They should be good to go. And so that's the basics of the game. That's how the game kind of works. And we're going to move forward. We're going to hire more people. We're going to rent out more office space. We're going to build more. We're going to expand more. And we're going to add more utilities and services as we go along. So if we were to, again, grab another office here and stick it down next to this one, then put another one in right there. We could put in, I guess, like a 3rd, 4th, and we can't quite put a 5th one in there because they haven't finished making this usable yet. We need our construction guys to get upstairs. You can see here, this is like fully white and ready to go. This one's kind of a little bit gray and kind of looks like it's still not ready. They've got like lights and ladders and paint and tools in it. But we can start renting out all of these offices and try and get our rent up to the $1,000 daily goal. So we'll hit play. We'll make sure we're running here. We should start to get 120 per day from this office, and we'll start to rent out to some of these other offices. So I think we'll go with the insurance companies first because for the most part, these guys only require a copy service. They don't require the courier service that the accounting officers do. And so for now, we will just get in a bunch of these guys. I don't think any of these need anything else. They all just say electrical line. But I guess we will have to move on to accounting contracting officers. You'll see right now, since we ran out of insurance officers, if we want to get more people into our building, we have to place an ad in, I guess, the local paper, judging by this little, like, icon here. And it says place an ad for $50. So if we were to place that ad, it's going to start a little timer, and after 2 minutes, which we can speed up by hitting the little speed up button down here, after 2 minutes, which goes by incredibly quickly, there will be a bunch of new insurance officers who are willing to rent out the space. And so, if we click on it now, there are 2 more people. We'll, of course, go for the one who is paying the most. They expect an electrical line, and they expect a copying service. They're going to pay $100 in rent. We will take it. You also might have seen there that the guys who work our copying service did just turn up. The construction guys work 24/7. Everybody else kind of comes and goes during working hours. These guys do not yet have any utilities that they need, so we'll go ahead and run electrical cables. We might as well run it all the way along like here, because whatever we put in this spot here is almost certainly going to want an electrical line as well, and that's kind of the baseline for what people want. This is our daily budget summary. You can see right now, as of yesterday, we made nothing in rent because we had nobody in our building, and we lost $2,071 because that's what we spent on building all of this new stuff. But up here in the top right, yesterday's rent is now at $495 thanks to all of these new insurance officers that we have put in. So let's go ahead and throw in a few more officers here. We'll put like one there, we'll put one there. And now if we go and look, actually we can't get to the top floor. Let me delete this office. Can I get rid of this? I want to... Oh, I need to use the bulldoze tool. If I get rid of this, because we need to have at least a staircase that is willing to go up to this floor, and we should really look to invest in an elevator. So you know what? I'm also going to put an elevator over here on the end. It's a little too wide. I was really hoping that it would fit in that 2 gap there, but it looks like we're going to have to expand this just a little bit to make it wide enough for the elevator. Although I'm about to build an elevator over here, I think I'm going to keep the stairs going all the way up to the top of my building, because the elevators are somewhat prone to breaking, and if the elevator breaks and there is no stairs, people get pretty annoyed. I was playing this before on like an off-camera world, and the elevator breaks pretty frequently, and when it does, people get really, really annoyed. So I'm going to try and keep both of these, because they do like to use the stairs if the elevator breaks, but for the most part, they love using the elevator all the flipping time. All of my guys, look at these people. They're arriving. They're doing their work. They're doing their insurance company things. But this office, we're going to try and rent out to a legal office. And you'll see right here, it says it needs a greater variety of small restaurants. And so we need to grab one of these small restaurants or a small cafe and put it down somewhere within our building. Now, there isn't much space for it, and I don't know about you, but whenever I go to a building, the small cafe is usually like right at the front. So I think I'm going to extend this out a little bit. If we make it 4 wide, that also means we can put an office on the upper floor here as well. So we'll wait for this to finish. We will stick down a little cafe right about there. And we do also have to rent out the cafe. Right now, we have 3 food courts who are interested. We are, of course, going to give it to Purple Spoon's Wraps. They expect an electrical line. They will pay $165 or $155 a day, sorry. But they like high traffic areas. I don't know if this is going to quite classify as a high traffic area yet, and so they might get pretty annoyed and move out. But we'll see. We are adding more officers all the time, and so hopefully it won't be too big of a deal. I don't know if that alone... Oh, it is. So that alone was enough to get legal officers interested. And you'll see that the legal officers do pay a little bit more than everybody else. But again, they want more stuff. These guys do also want that courier service, and they also want access to a phone line. So we'll get CB Mazur LLC in this office, and then this office over here we will give to, I guess, Eddie E. Cantu Limited. Sure, we'll throw those guys in over there. We'll make sure that they have electricity. They do. Make sure the shop has electricity. It does. It is not happy. Is there anything else they need? This is just a message telling us that one of our tenants is annoyed. We like high traffic areas. Hearty takeout, service, breakfast, and lunch satisfaction. They're not happy. It might be because the electricity we just put in wasn't there before. It could also be due to the fact that it's not a high traffic area. We'll have to see. It looks like they've calmed down a little bit, and they seem to be fine with it now. But we do need to make sure that an electrical line runs to here. It does. And we also need to make sure that we have a phone line that is running to these 2 end offices as well. Like that. Nice. All right, let's take a quick peek at our electrical services. You'll see right now, we're producing 10, the demand is 9, and the utilization is 90%. So we are almost at the brink of what our services can handle, and as soon as these 2 guys move in, that's probably going to tip over the edge, and everyone's going to start getting annoyed because they won't have any power. So, we should preemptively add a bit of space down here. I don't think we're going to be able to afford any of the higher tier ones. This one costs 2,000. We can afford it. We can even afford the highest tier one, but I think we're going to go for this one for now. It's only 250. So it's a heck of a lot cheaper and a lot more efficient, albeit it does take up a bit more space in the long run. So if you have just like a bunch of these, it's going to take up so much more space. And eventually, we're probably going to have to get rid of these and replace them with the higher tier ones to save on space. But day 2 is over. We made $495 in rent, but we lost $2,201 in expenses due to the fact that we're building stuff. But we are now very close to that $1,000 rent goal, so we'll hit play again. We do need to build a couple more offices here just to push us over to 1,000. So you know what? We will build a whole new floor. It's actually not too expensive to build a new floor. The expense comes in getting electricity up there and making sure it's all hooked up, making sure there's an elevator up there, putting a staircase up there if that's something we're going to do, which we definitely are, making sure the elevator's here on the end like that, and then filling the space up with officers is actually free, so we can do that fairly easily. Let's see who is interested in this. Also, we don't have the courier service, actually, so all of these guys are going to be pretty annoyed. We need to go to services, business services, and then get this courier service. We currently don't have anywhere to put it, so we're gonna have to wait until these guys have got us like a 5-space gap. This is gonna mess us up a little bit because it's wider than an office is, but I guess that's fine. We'll put it right there. It's gonna be a little weird having a courier service on like the 3rd floor. That does seem a little bit weird, but hey, is it the 3rd floor? It's the 2nd floor. But, like, they're starting at floor 0, so it's like the 3rd floor of the building. It's going to be a little bit weird, but that's fine. We do need an electrical cabinet. Let's get that up there. And let's hook this up with some connections. Also, we should go all the way over to the new office. Get this rented out to somebody else. We'll go with legal again, because these guys do definitely pay the most. That should take us up over 1,000 come tomorrow. So I think we've pretty much done with this proof of concept contract up here. And speaking of which, there are more contracts we can do to make more money. You can't take out more than 2 contracts at any given time. Right now, we have the proof of concept contract, which is 89% done, and we have access to all of these contracts over here. The first one at the top saying the city wants more people in this part of town. Increase your building population to 50. The next one down says the Department of Planning and Development wants to ensure the city's commercial tax base is diversified and not overly dependent on one sector succeeding or vulnerable should it collapse. To that end, they'd like you to move in a diverse group of 16 small offices. So basically, what this does is it wants us to move in a couple of people from the accounting department, a couple of people from the insurance companies, a couple of people who are legal teams, and make sure that we have a nice diverse cast of people. We'll go with this one for now. We'll sign this contract, and as soon as we get 50 people, right now we've only got 18, but as soon as we do get 50 people, we will get the money for that contract. This guy does not have a phone line. That was a very big oversight. Let's make sure he gets a phone line very quickly, otherwise he's going to be very annoyed. We are doing fine on power. We're only utilizing 55% of our total power setup, so that is all good. Our prestige, by the way, I didn't tell you how you level up prestige. You'll see right now our current level of prestige comes from having 17 population. We will get a higher prestige. Our prestige will go up to 1 once we get a population of more than 20 people. So I'm thinking we should add probably another small office right about there. We can't add another one there, which is really annoying, but we can add one over here. This guy just moved out because I guess we didn't have the phone line he was after. I guess we should probably get some accounting guys in here. They want a copying service, electricity, and a courier service. We have all of that. You can move in tomorrow. And then we'll also get another accounting service here and pull those guys in as well. And then hopefully, it's currently 10:30 p.m. Hopefully, as soon as that crosses midnight, we should complete the proof of concept quest, I think. And we did! Nice! Congratulations, you've completed the contract proof of concept. The rewarding payment of $500 has been wired to your account. If you feel up to it, more lucrative contracts may be available under the contracts menu. Nice. Alright, so we'll get rid of that. We're starting to make a decent amount of money. You know, we made about half of what we lost there. We're still not making an overall profit. You can see right now we're at negative 45 a day. And that's just from the fact that we're paying for services. That's not including us building stuff. So we have to pay to keep our construction team, our copying team, our courier team, all that stuff we have to maintain and pay to keep going. And so we should really invest in even more rooms here. You know what? Let's expand out our bottom floor. Let's go like along here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's just expand that all the way along like this. That's going to give us extra space for up to 9 more officers. We seem to have missed a spot. That is fine. We'll put you there. And later on down the line, once we get into hiring tenants, because we can have people move in, I find that people don't like to live on the same floor that people work. So if we do want to start moving tenants in, we should probably set up a new floor that is dedicated to having tenants. Also because of the fact that tenants have particular needs. For example, if we go back to the buildings tab, trash is one that people like to have. They like to have bins around the place so that they can go and get rid of their trash, put it in a trash can, and have it taken away. They like to have recycling. They like to have collection. They like to have all this stuff. And once we get down to retail stores, they like to have storerooms, which are these massive rooms that they use for just storing all of their goods and services. They do usually go underground here. We do have another, ooh, somebody else here. There was a problem in one of your elevator shafts. See what I mean? See what I mean? The elevators are always breaking. So right now, everyone's going to be using the stairs. Our maintenance team, which we don't have actually, we didn't get a maintenance team up and running. Let's get one very quickly. Building staff, we need a maintenance office. We will put it preferably on the lower floor. So let's go ahead and just expand this out like so. We will get ourselves a maintenance office quickly because the longer that elevator is down, the more annoyed people are going to be. Did someone just take the elevator anywhere? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, building staff, maintenance, we want to get a guy in right about here as soon as possible. It is going to cost us more money. It's going to cost us, it's free to build, but it's going to cost us 100 a day going forward, which is going to cut into our daily budget. So we definitely need to get some more officers, also more people in over here. For now, we know what, we'll put in another food court right about there, and then we'll just fill the rest in with officers because, like I said, I don't really want to mix and match too much. Actually, I guess this is kind of on the other side of the elevator. This could be classified as like the other side of the building. So you know what? We will actually replace these higher floors here with normal apartments. You can't put apartments on the bottom floor anyway. They have to be on at least the first floor here. So we'll have one apartment there, one there. You'll see apartments are a little bit bigger than the shop, so we can't get quite as many in. But they do bring traffic to all of the stores, and they should, I think, make us some more money. Yeah, you can see this guy here, $150, so we'll get that rented out. And this one, and this one, and this one. There we go. All right. First of all, though, what do they need? These guys tend to need water, so let's make sure that we have utilities. For that, we are definitely going to have to build a little bit of an extension here out on the edge where we're going to have all of our plumbing cabinets. Hopefully, nobody moves in too quickly here. Let's make sure they at least have electricity. Otherwise, they are almost certainly going to move out very, very quickly. And then as soon as we are good to go, we'll run a cabinet up to here. We'll build a plumbing cabinet here, here, and here, and hook it up to our main cabinet down here. We're just waiting on my construction guys who are taking forever. This guy is not going to stay very long. He's going to be, yeah, look at that. He can't function without water. I'm aware. I know this. But I'm waiting on my construction guys. They need to get stuff built. I'm fairly certain this man will move out. But anyway, we'll put in a plumbing cabinet. There and there. Yeah, look at that. This person has already left, which was to be expected. We'll run this along like so. As soon as it gets here, it should, I thought it would, oh no, it's connected up here. I didn't need to do this. That's fine. So we'll run this along like so, and like so. I thought this was going to have to be above that, but now it makes sense really that it was going to pull from the main line that's coming from, I guess, like the city somewhere. So that should be fine. All of these guys do now have water, so they should stop complaining. And they should be fine. These guys are going to clear out the remains of what this tenant left during his very short time here. But once that's done, we can rent that out again. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's get a small cafe in on this spot. They expect water and electricity. We have both of those, and they want it to be a high traffic area. They are right below some people's buildings, so that is fine. We made $1,525 yesterday, but we spent $3,000 on building new stuff. But we are now making $400 a day overall, so we're not actually losing money anymore, which is nice. And we've also unlocked creative offices down here at the bottom, and so these guys pay even more than the previous guys do, but however, these guys do want an office supply store. So we'll start renting out to the creative offices, and we will look for space to put down a creative supply store. Where the heck are we going to put that? Or was it office supply store? Office supply store. It's pretty big. I guess it could go here. It's not the best. It's where our... No, I don't really want it to go there because I want to keep this for tenants only. By tenants, I mean the people who are paying for accommodation. We'll hook that up with some phone line. And I guess we'll build out a little bit more. Can we put... I wonder if we can put it below. Let's try and extend out like maybe over on this side. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and extend out that way, can we put the office supply store down here? I'm hoping we can. It's going to be a little weird. You're going to have to walk through the maintenance office to get to it. But I think the idea here is that this is kind of behind a corridor, like there would be a hallway, so you wouldn't have to actually walk through the maintenance guy's office. Although I could be wrong, it might totally be that you have to walk through the maintenance guy's office. But let's go ahead and hook you up. Why can I not do this? Are we running out of, like, phone line juice? I don't know how that would be a thing. We're almost running out of power, though, so we should definitely expand this out a little bit there. As for phone lines, why can I not connect this up? Oh, we need a phone connection? We need, like, a dedicated phone thing? Oh, my goodness, I didn't even know. All right, there we go. Everyone now has access to a phone line. Don't even worry about it. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that the electrical cabinet was fine because we have these closets here which work with electricity, TV, and phone. It never occurred to me we'd need like a separate cabinet down underground specifically for phone. However, we do also need another one for electricity as well, so we'll bang that on there. How many people do we currently have? We've got 30 people out of the 50 that we need. We're making quite a bit of money now. We've also just unlocked this down here. We can add decorative elements to our building as well. For example, we've got this little space over here, which is 3 wide, isn't really going to be able to store anything, so we can put some stuff in here if we want. So, you know, if you're waiting for whatever this is, what is this? This is a courier service. If you're waiting for your courier service, you can just sit in that chair. They are free, which is nice. We can put a bigger chair in. We can put like a little cabinet in. You know, we'll have like a little cabinet with a horse there. And then, you know what? We'll get like an indoor plant. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. It looks so much nicer. Jeez. All right. Let's get in a bit of a studio apartment. That can go there. And then we'll get somebody else in. We do now have the option for deluxe apartments. However, you'll see it says it hates noisy areas and it hates smelly areas. If I was to put this here, surrounded by offices, it would not be happy whatsoever. The deluxe apartments do have to go a little bit higher up, and I would say probably should be separated by a floor of just basic apartments, so they're not very close at all to any of the office stuff. So for now, we'll go again with basic. It pays a little bit less, but it's a little easier to maintain. They're not as high maintenance, which is always nice. But with that, guys, I'm going to end this first episode of Project Highrise there. As always, if you did enjoy the video and you want to see more Project Highrise, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, be sure to hit that like button. It really does help out a lot, and I will see you guys next time.